Shalom, shalom. What's going on, family? Ah, peace to the family. What's going on? Just bear with your brother for a moment if you don't mind. Bear with your brother if you don't mind, just for a moment, if I could. Just gonna share the live on my social media, if you don't mind. Oops. You guys know the etiquette. If you are in the building, make sure you guys hit the like button so we can trigger the algorithm so that more people can know that we're live and they can come in and join in the conversation if they choose to join in the conversation. How is everybody doing? Hopefully everyone is doing well. We give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh. In the name of his son, Yahweh Shai. This is your brother, Priest Dan, representing Maccabeestv, representing Lions of Israel. Welcome to another impromptu edition of Road Rage. Hopefully everybody's well. You guys can see outside of the screen, outside of my windshield, I should say, that today's a gloomy, rainy Wednesday in the Northeast. Hey, Shalom Deacon, what's going on? All praise to the Most High. Shalom, Brother Rivera, what's going on as well? Yeah, it's a gloomy, rainy day in the Northeast. I got to work a little bit early. Actually, lately I've been going to the gym at like 5 o'clock in the morning, but I got something to take care of today at work first before I go. I ain't complaining about the weather because at the end of the day, it is late December, and I don't really want to, talk too soon, but we haven't really gotten much snow. In New York, we really haven't gotten any snow, and where I live, we probably just got an inch. By this time in years past, we've gotten, quite a bit of snow already, especially where I live. So I'm giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High that it's rain and not snow, So since I have about 45 minutes before I have to go into work, I just decided to turn the camera on and do a road rage, which I haven't done in quite a while, just to holler at the family for a second and see how everybody's doing. Like I said, hopefully everybody's doing well. And yes, like my brother said, if you are in the building as you come in, just interact with the video by giving the video a like or dislike. And it's funny too. You know what's so funny? And I don't know the reason why. Maybe somebody could actually put the reason why in the chat. But YouTube disabled the dislikes. I mean, you could still hit it, right? But it doesn't actually show. Michael, I'll answer that question in 1 second. YouTube actually did away with the dislikes. It'll only show you how many likes a person has, but not the dislikes. You can still hit the button, but it won't show you how many dislikes. So it kind of took the haters, their favorite part of YouTube away. Like you can go live on the video, and within 30 seconds, you already have a dislike, and they don't even know what you're going to say, right? Sometimes you can simply schedule a live ahead of time, And when it's actually time to go live, you have a whole bunch of dislikes just because people dislike you, not realizing that it really helps the algorithm, so you're not really hurting anybody's feelings by hitting the dislike button on a video. And at the end of the day, you still watching. And you're probably just mad because at some point of time, something that was said cut you in the spirit, so you're just mad. You're emotional. So it's all good. Like, we're not pressed about that. So Brother Michael asked, can a family member be saved by you being an Israelite? Well, first of all, I would want to know what type of family member are you talking about? Are you talking about an immediate family member? And in this case, let me be a little more specific. Are you talking about like a wife and children, those type of family members? Or are you talking about like brother and sister, mother and father? The short answer to a very complex conversation is, the scriptures say, let every man work out his own soul salvation with fear and trembling. That's what the scriptures say. So your good works and you following the commandments is going to deliver you, if it be the will of the Most High, from destruction. It's not going to deliver your mom or your father, your sister or your brother. If they are not keeping commandments, especially if you have shown them the truth and they've rejected the truth, then those works are going to be brought into judgment, pursuant to the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. The Most High says, right, beautiful scripture that Deacon just put there as well. It says that all works are going to be brought into judgment, whether they be good or evil. Each individual is going to have to stand before the seat of judgment and answer for their own sins and their transgressions, their own works, right? That even goes for your spouse. If you have a spouse and their spouse is unbelieving but pleased to dwell with you, meaning that they don't necessarily bring their bad habits into your house. Like, let's use an example of Christmas, right? So we know Christmas is pagan. Well, I can't even say that we know, because what I've been seeing on the Clubhouse app this week has been just like mind-blowing. Like, the Christians are like, I don't want to say all Christians, like I don't like to speak in absolutes, because I don't like when people do it to us. Like when people say the Israelites, no. You're speaking maybe about a specific person or maybe a specific congregation, but there's no such thing as the Israelites. Like, you can't lump us all in the same lump. So I try to apply the same thing and not say all Christians, but on the Clubhouse app this week, the Christians that were on there have been fighting like their life depended on celebrating Christmas, which is crazy. It's crazy. But we'll have that conversation either tomorrow or Friday, when I'm going to actually go live and address that Christmas spirit in a PowerPoint. But if you have a spouse that's pleased to dwell with you, that means that they'll respect you enough not to bring these things into your house, even if they may not be a believer in this truth. By virtue of the fact that you believe in this truth, right, and you don't celebrate pagan holidays, they'll respect you enough not to bring those pagan traditions into your home. Then that's one thing. But that spouse is still going to have to answer for whatever their works are. Whatever their works are, they're going to have to answer for that on the day of judgment. So you really can't save anybody but yourself. And even yourself, you know what I'm saying, has to pray that the Most High has mercy on you. That's really what it boils down to, right? That's what it boils down to. So no, you can't save anybody by your works. That's the reason why we warn our people, we prophesy, we teach, so that we warn our people, so that peradventure that we can save them from themselves. The scriptures speak about those who oppose themselves. We have to teach these people. So yeah, you can't really save anybody, King, all right? So that's that. Just pray to the Most High, if it be in his infinite will, that whatever family members that you may love, that you want to see saved, that the Most High opens their eyes up to the truth and they repent before Yahushua returns. But this truth is a lonely walk, bro. You know, like I don't want to use the word envious, because envy is not good, right? But what's a good word to use? I wish, can I use that? like when I see, it's a very rare thing, but I see families in truth. Like sometimes I'm talking to people and they tell me that their mother, their father, sister, brother, wife, and kids are all in the truth. That's rare. For most of us in this Israelite walk, you pretty much in it by yourself, right? You might come in with your spouse, or if you don't have a spouse, you might meet your spouse in this truth, and you and your spouse will raise children together in the truth. But outside of that, like your mom, your dad, your sisters, your brothers are not in it. So what I said to you doesn't just go for you, it goes for all of us, right? We can't save our family members no matter how much we love. That's why Christ, Yahushua in the gospel said, who is my mother, my father, my sister, my brother, but those that do the will of my Father? Because at the end of the day, that's your real family. You can't save the rest of your family. You can't. So that pretty much answers that question for now. And there's a lot more scriptures that we could pull on that, but I think I don't have to belabor the point. I think that you understand, and you said that you did in the comments. So all praise to the Most High for that, right? Moving on. So depending on where you are, let's just talk about what's going on in the news today, right? So depending on where you are, you brothers and sisters can pretty much see that the news media is kind of ratcheting up the rhetoric again about this pandemic, as it's being called, right? States like where I'm at in New York and the surrounding states like New Jersey, Connecticut, places like that, they're starting to put back some of the austere measures that were in place and the mandates that were in place like a year ago, as far as, with the masks, like going into certain restaurants, having to wear the mask inside the gym, and all these different things that they're doing. Of course, in New York, you can't even sit down in a restaurant if you don't present your papers, if you guys understand what I'm saying. So they're starting to ratchet up the rhetoric again. They're saying that the numbers are off the hook, which, brothers and sisters, is all BS, because at the end of the day, right, if you check it out, a lot of the people that received both bee stings and the booster sting, they're the main ones that's coming down with it. Like you've seen Cory Booker, who's the senator. I'm saying this because some of you guys are not from New York, so obviously you wouldn't know these people or names. But Cory Booker is the senator from New Jersey. He actually ran for president 2 years ago. He ran for president right along with Biden, right along with Harris. He ran for president. He's double bee stinged and booster stinged. And he came down with the pandemic, right? Maxine Waters from California. I believe she's from California. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. She's double bee stinged and booster stinged, and she came down with it too, right? You have all these basketball players that's double bee stinged, and they still coming down with it, and all these football players, and you have whole teams sometimes. They're changing NBA schedules and NFL schedules around. If you're into sports, you guys are seeing that. They're changing NFL schedules. They're postponing games, right? They're putting all types of athletes on pandemic protocols and all this different stuff that they can't play for a certain amount of days because of protocols and stuff. And these are all people that are double bee stinged. So clearly, if you have even a little bit of logic and reason, just a little bit, it's obvious that the double bee sting and the booster sting ain't doing SHIT, because it's not that. There's something more sinister going on with this. There's an agenda at play with this. And I'm not asking, I'm telling you, like I'm holding up the air quotes, the conscious community, and I say that like with a smile on my face, laughing, because they some of the most unconscious Negroes I know. Will tell you, oh no, you're talking conspiracy. Yeah, okay. Nobody that I know that is not double bee stinged is coming down with the stuff at the rate of the people. I mean, people might be getting sick here and there, but they're not coming down with it at the rate of the people that's double bee sting. That's just what it is, right? But the mainstream media is not talking about that. They're ratcheting up the rhetoric, right? The way that they're talking about these numbers in states like New York and places like that, I'm not saying that there's gonna be another lockdown of certain things, but there might be. There might be, right? So, I say all that to say what? I say all that to say what? Well, if you've been an avid watcher of this channel for years, like some of you brothers and sisters have, right? If you've been an avid watcher of this channel for years, you guys know. Give me 1 second. Let me just actually share this video one other place real quick. 1 second. Yeah. So, yeah. If you've been an avid watcher of this channel for any amount of time, right? You guys know that I've been talking about this stuff for the last 2.5 years, at least. Trying to tell brothers and sisters about what's coming. You know, standing on the wall, blowing the trumpet, warning about what's getting ready to come. I mean, we all could see it, but unfortunately, what I'm seeing is that a lot of our people are in denial to a degree. It's like they see what's happening, but they don't see it at the same time. Almost like a deer in headlights. Like you see, a deer will be in headlights, and they'll see the car coming, and instead of the deer getting out the way, the deer will stop there and let the damn car or truck run over them before they move out the way. And some of our people are like proverbial deers in the headlight. Like you see what's happening, and you don't know what to do. Like we ain't been telling you for months, for years. These things that are happening are certain, and it's only going to get worse. I'm not trying to use fear tactics. I'm telling you what the scriptures say. It's going to get worse. There will be famines. There will be shortages of food. There will be shortages of water. There'll be these things. And the Most High said throughout the scriptures that he would take care of his servants. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that we should not use a level of prudence. And in that, that means that looking down the road and seeing what's happening and positioning yourself not to be caught up in what the masses are going to be caught up in when things happen. We had a preview of these things during the first lockdown. We saw shortages of water, right? I know for a fact that I went to supermarkets and they literally didn't have any water. We saw shortages of toilet paper. We saw shortages of cleaning supplies. Like we see all these things. We all are going to the supermarkets and we're all seeing the same things. The supermarket shelves are not as full as they were even 2 years ago. This is a fact. No conspiracy. We all could see it. Sometimes I'll go into stores like Dollar General or Family Dollar to pick up small little rinky-dink items, and the shelves in there are empty in many cases too. Or I should say emptier than usual. You know what's still full though? Junk, right? You go to the aisles that have like junk food and stuff like that. That stuff is still full, but essential supplies, not as much. We see a rise in the cost of everything, right? Produce, meat, all these different things we see in a rise in all these things. So for the last 2.5 years, I've been telling people about preparation. Like, you should have a month's worth of supplies. You ain't got to overdo it like you're a hoarder. Nobody's telling you to be a hoarder. But you just want to give yourself options or choices that if there is a breakdown in society, like can happen at any time, right? For whatever reason, that you're not asked out, especially if you have elderly loved ones in your home, especially if you have young ones, babies, children in your home. Like, you don't want to be out here scrambling, asking what to do. What am I supposed to do? So, as I mentioned before, and I'll mention again, on my website, which I'm going to put in the comment section after this video is over. I'm not going to put it into the comment section while the video is live. But after this video is over, I'm going to pin the very top comment to the video when you guys come back. It's a link to my website. When you go to my website, if you scroll down to the bottom of the home page, there is a PDF on my website that's free for you to download. And what that PDF is, we made it for Israel, for every Israel, regardless of camp affiliation or individualite or whatever you are. We made this PDF for Israel so that you can have some ideas of some things that you want to keep in your home in case there's a breakdown in society where you can't have access to these things, or these things become harder to get, right? I'm talking about everything from even certain you should have a first aid kit in your house. There's certain medicines that you should have in your house at all times. Bandages. There's certain herbs that you might want to have in your house at all times because they're good for just about a lot of things. Turmeric, ginger. Now, I'm not talking about the pills either. I'm talking about the actual herbs themselves. We have lists of those things on the website. Certain food items that you should have in your house that are non-perishable, right? Candles, flashlights, lanterns, kerosene lamps that work off of oil, right? You go on websites and you can see nowadays they have a lot of electronics that work off of solar power. You guys know that they have solar powered things that can charge your cell phone? If you have a cell phone and power goes down, they have solar powered phone chargers, solar powered chargers that you can use to power your refrigerator. Like, there's a lot of stuff out here that people don't know exist. And you can have these things to get you through times that might be a little bit rough. Again, especially if you have elderly or young people in your house, so forth and so on, right? And most people don't know where to start or what to do. So we put a little bit of a list together to try to give people an idea of just things that you want to have in your house, right? We've had examples in society of how bad things can get when there are major events that take place in America. Two examples that maybe some of you brothers and sisters are too young to remember. Maybe some of y'all were children when it happened, so you don't remember it vividly. And maybe some of you guys remember it vividly, but you want to forget. You want to put it in the back of your mind. One such example of something like that, again, is Hurricane Katrina. Though there are videos still on YouTube that I always encourage people to go back and watch what happened during Hurricane Katrina when society fell down and people were on their own to survive when the levees broke, right? That's the name of the documentary. In New York, I believe it was I want to say it was 2001. It might have been 2002. There was a blackout in the city for 3 days. 3 days. Power went totally out in the city. If I'm not mistaken, it was up and down the East Coast, period. But I was living in New York at that time, and there was a blackout for 3 days. All right? You guys should see the lines at the bodega store, right? Them daggone nasty dothead Indians was selling, listen to what I'm telling y'all. They were selling bottles of water. Like, you guys know when you go to the movies, right? You try to buy a bottle of water, you could buy for $1 inside the bodega, right? You go to the movie theater, they want to charge you $5 for that same bottle of water, right? You go to the airport, they want to charge you $5 for that same bottle of water, right? You go to a ball game or whatever, they want to charge you $5 for that same. That's called price gouging. When the electricity went out in New York City, the blackout, these dothead motherfuckers, these Arabs, pardon my language, but it is what it is. They was charging women with children that were poor in the projects $5 and $6 for a bottle of water. You know what I'm talking about? And these sisters were paying that thing because they were desperate. Y'all got to get the likes up too, man. If you're in the building, get the likes up. Let's build the algorithm a little bit. You know, YouTube does not, distribute videos. They don't recommend videos because of the subject matter that we talk about. So it's up to us to hit the algorithm and push the algorithm. So make sure you brothers and sisters hit the like button if you're in the house, right? So the reason why I'm saying all that stuff is that That's what's going to happen when society breaks down. And that's sure to come. The Bible warns us that that's coming. You're going to have stuff like that. And a lot of our people are going to panic. A lot of our people are going to be invading each other's houses for the lack of bread. That's in the scriptures. You don't want to be out in the midst of that chaos. And so that's why we prepared that list, so that you don't have to necessarily be out there going through that when the time comes, right? The Most High said he would protect us and take care of us. But it doesn't mean that you also can't be prudent to a degree and make preparations. Obviously, you wouldn't go out but you have to also know what you're doing. Like, you're not going to go out and buy some bottled water, right, in a plastic thing and put it down thinking that you're going to be drinking that. No, that water has an expiration date on it because there's garbage in there, right? You need to know, and everybody doesn't know this. You need to know that the water that you might want to store is boxed water, not water in a plastic bottle. Understand? If you are a homeowner, if you own a home, you want to purchase barrels, plastic barrels, so that you can collect rainwater if there's a power outage. If there's a power outage and your boiler and everything is down and you can't run water in your house and everything because all this stuff works off electricity a lot of times, right? If you're unable to do that, you have rainwater stored in barrels you can put on your property if you own a home. There's a lot of things, but most of us aren't raised to think this way. So that's why from time to time I come on the channel and I have these conversations with brothers and sisters just to get you thinking outside of the box, right? You could buy some barrels if you have a garage. If you're a homeowner, you can buy some barrels. If you have a garage, you store the barrels in the garage. God forbid that something goes down where there's no running water. You can put those barrels outside and collect rainwater and do what you got to do, right? The Most High will give you some rainwater. That's what people in the Caribbean do. Ask people in Haiti. That's what they do. You see how many natural disasters the people from Haiti go through? So they have to learn these things because they're constantly going through these natural disasters, or acts of God, as we want to call them, right? The same thing goes for the people in Jamaica and Puerto Rico and all these different islands. They're always going through hurricanes, and their infrastructure is not as advanced as the infrastructure up here in America. So they constantly go through power outages, and sometimes they don't have water for a couple of days. Just ask anybody from the islands, they'll tell you. So they understand and can relate to this stuff more so than those of us that was raised in America that never really been through nothing. But the Most High has given us little sneak peeks about how society breaks down when you have situations like that. And I remember when that blackout happened in New York City, even the police was not answering 911 calls because they were scared. If there's no lights, you think the police is going to come and go into the projects and do what? In the dark. And do what? People were trying to hail down police cars and the police was driving right by them like they didn't see them. You know what I'm talking about? These are real things. So, you know, we have to take on that mindset and understand what time we're living in. But the Most High gives us a little bit of a reprieve, which we're in right now, where we still have, you know, access to do certain things. So again, after this video is over, not right now in the live comment section, but after this video is over, I'm going to come back to it once this video posts. What time is it too? Because I got to get ready to go into the slave. I got 15 minutes. Yeah, after this video is over, I'm going to come back to the comment section and I'm going to pin my website in the comment section. All you have to do is click on the link, go to my website, scroll down to the bottom of the page, and you will see something that says emergency list PDF. You're going to see a PDF that says emergency list. It's a 4-page PDF. You can download it to your phone. You can print it out on a piece of paper, and you can distribute it as necessary. All it is, it's not an exhaustive list, but it's a place to start where you can think about different things that you want to keep in your home in case supplies of things become short at certain times. And you know, I've said these things many times, and I'm not going to really like rehash it right now. But bartering, right? If you're in a congregation, it's going to be a lot. So, see, we've been having these conversations like on Clubhouse and different apps over the last couple of months. The people that are in congregations, like I'm not a person that's going to push nothing on nobody, right? You move as the Spirit, as the Spirit leads you. But the people that are in congregations are going to be a lot better off when Jacob's troubles like really ratchet up, because there's a system in place. Hopefully, you are part of a congregation that has some foresight. Leadership has some foresight, and there's a system in place where brothers and sisters can help each other and check up on each other and share resources. If you are individualite, you don't mess with nobody, whatever like that, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for you. So, you might still want to link up with a few people and split those 4 pages amongst, and one couple take, or one person take one page, one person take another page, and y'all have to barter and work together. Bottom line is, you're going to have to work with somebody when Jacob's troubles ratchet up. That's just what it is. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You're going to have to work with people. We're going to have to learn to get along. in my Rodney King voice. We're going to have to learn to get along. It is what it is. So I just wanted to say that. Like, you can see, if you're watching the news, you can definitely see they're starting to ratchet up a lot of the rhetoric again. And, lockdowns are not off the table for certain states. Like, certain states that people live in, y'all good. If you live in Florida, it looks like y'all good for the time being, right? If you live in Texas, it looks like y'all are good for the time being. But other states, especially in the Northeast, not so much. By the way, this is kind of random, but for you brothers and sisters that are living in Texas, I was telling brother this the other day, about 2 or 3 weeks ago on Clubhouse, right? A lot of people, like, first of all, we're not really into the whole politics thing, right? So, we're not into that. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't have some knowledge of how this stuff works, right? We're not supposed to be ignorant of any matter. So, I was explaining to a brother on Clubhouse, I was like, bro, you do realize, right, that Texas is what they call a quote-unquote red state. That's what it's called, quote-unquote, right? The thing is that there's a dude running for governor in Texas right now named Beto O'Rourke. I believe his name is Beto O'Rourke. I might be mispronouncing his name. Who gives a damn? He's an Edomite anyway. So I really don't give a damn. Beto O'Rourke was another dude that ran for president with Biden and Harris and stuff like that. And he was the most anti-Second Amendment person on the Democratic side. Most. Like, he wants to take away that whole Second Amendment thing in Texas, right? Now, the brother would say to me, oh, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. Let me tell you something, right? Let me tell you something. And I don't live in Texas, but I pay attention to everything, right? A lot of people from California are moving to Texas. Which California is a super quote-unquote blue state. A lot of these people are going to be voting in future elections. You know what I'm saying? Texas could very well, at some point, I hate to be the person to break the bad news to you, Texas could I believe he was, I don't know if the election took place or not already. Maybe it took place, I don't know, but he was running for governor. Now, I don't know if the election took place for governor or not. Maybe it already passed and he lost. But the point I'm trying to make is a greater point, and that is that a lot of Californians are moving to Texas, and they're bringing that quote-unquote blue state mind state to Texas. In the future, Texas might turn blue, which means that your Second Amendment rights and all this other stuff might go away. And we know, I'm bringing it back full circle, we know the quote-unquote blue states are the ones that have all these high numbers with this pandemic. They're the ones that have the most stringent rules in place for the bee sting and the booster sting and all this other stuff. It's the blue states. So don't be surprised if y'all get flipped eventually, right? So y'all good for now in Texas. You're good for now in Florida and places like that. But they're ratcheting up the rhetoric in a lot of the quote-unquote blue states. So there could be, possibly, I'm not saying there's going to be, but there could be lockdowns and shutdowns again, so forth and so on. So you just don't want to be caught out there with all this chaos that's happening. You want to kind of be prepared for any eventuality in your home. That is the point of everything that I just said. I know it was a lot, but that was the point of everything I just said. So I kind of just wanted to say that. One more thing, actually, two more things real quick before I go. I'm going to be talking a lot about this in the future on this channel. There is a new website that's currently, it's currently up and running, but I'm going to be promoting this website very heavily in the future. The website is called the Israel Blue Pages. So let me tell y'all what that website is all about, right? If you've gone to any of the summits over the past couple of years, the Israelite summits that they've had in different states, the elder Zaquan from Yahweh's camp, he put together a directory, right? What he did was he got a hold of every leader from every camp, right, across the country that was willing to participate, and he found out what businesses do people in that camp have that they offer people, right? What businesses, what services that people offer. And what he did was he created a directory, state by state, camp by camp. It was a physical directory. The directory has grown so much that now it's impossible to even staple that thing together. That's how many people have submitted entries across the country for their businesses and their services that they offer Israel. So, the Spirit moved the sister, shout out to Sister Shemayim, the Spirit moved the sister to create a website called Israel's Blue Pages. So I got her in contact with Zaquan, and Zaquan forwarded over all the contacts that he had. So what we have, Israel, and what's coming down the pipe shortly in 2022 is there's something called the Israelite Blue Pages. Any state that you are traveling to, if you want to, and we hope that you would want to, if you are in need of any goods or services, what we're hoping that Israelites will do is they will go to the website. If you know you're going to California in a week, right? And you're going to need A, B, C, and D. We're hoping that brothers or sisters would go to the website and see who in Israel offers those services in those states or those goods, and that you will patronize them. That way we start to circulate money in our community. This website is irrespective of camp and congregation. Every camp and congregation that wants to participate can have a listing or listings on this website. It's going to be the place to be, the place to go to have your business. And we're hoping that when Israel comes to your state, that they will support you and your business in that state before we start going to spend money with the other nations. For instance, the next Israelite summit, to my knowledge, is in Dallas, Texas, right? So what she's doing is that she's uploading all the listings for all that everybody has submitted to all the businesses in Texas, right? Especially in the Dallas area, so that when the summit and Israelites converge on Dallas, right, they can go to that website and they can look and see what goods and services or whatever is offered by Israelites in that city, and we can patronize you. This is important on so many levels. One of the levels is that a lot of Israelites got laid off because of this pandemic. Jobs were lost, hours were cut, all types of stuff. And so some brothers and sisters actually went out and did something with their time when they was home, right? When they couldn't go out, when the job was shut down, whatever. They did something with their time. They developed a skill, or they honed a skill and turned it into a business. And now we need to patronize these brothers and sisters. Amalek does it. The so-called Jews. I watched the so-called Jews when I used to work in an office out in Manhattan, and it was owned by the small hat community, right? These small hat people own the business. Everybody that came to do any service, any contractor that was hired to do anything in that place was a small hat. The plumber was a small hat. The IT tech was a small hat, right? If there needs to be a paint job, it was a small hat. If they want to lay some carpet, it's a small hat. If there was a moving job, it was a small hat. They circulate the dollars in their own community. Regardless or irregardless of what temple they are located, what synagogue they go to. The fact is they circulate the dollar in their community. We need to do the same. So instead of just talking about it, we're trying to be about it. So we're creating a resource, but we can't force Israel to use it, but it will exist. The sister's doing a fantastic job of putting that thing together, and I'm praying that the Israelite community supports it. So right now, because I'm streaming from the YouTube app, obviously I can't show it to you, brothers and sisters, but Lord allow, I am going to go live on this channel tomorrow or Friday. I'm still deciding what day to do a couple of PowerPoint presentations for y'all, because y'all been asking. And in the midst of me doing that, I'm going to actually show you, brothers and sisters, the website, and give you, brothers and sisters, how to contact her so that your business, your service, whatever it is that you have, can be listed on the website, so that hopefully when Israelites go to your city for whatever reason, you can be patronized and we can start circulating the money in our community. This is that important. Y'all need to hit the like button too. This is that important. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that to you, brothers and sisters. That's going to be mentioned ad nauseum on this channel, because I really want it to become a thing, right? See, the one thing that you brothers and sisters are going to find out is that I don't do a lot of, listen, I'm gonna keep it real, right? You have two different types of Israelites. You have some Israelites that everything is just revolves around them and their congregation, and that's it. They don't really try to help other people. They don't want, you know what I'm saying? I don't roll like that. I don't like that spirit, right? With me, if you're an Israelite and you know what I'm saying, you pushing the law, statutes, and commandments, and you're trying to do good for your people, then you could be included in whatever it is I'm doing, if I'm doing it for the nation. Like, I don't want the glory for my camp. I'm not trying to just keep these things from my camp. No. Because this is we're a nation first. And all of this is bigger than that. You have people in Israel that have businesses that are starving to be able to promote their business amongst all Israel, but they can't. Because they can't. Which is not good. So hopefully I see a cross section of different camps. All camps are welcome to participate in this, and I'll show you, brothers and sisters, more about this when I go live. I'm not begging nobody to do it. We're not begging nobody to do it, because there are enough entries already. But I don't see why anybody, regardless of affiliation, wouldn't want to have your business as many places as possible. That just makes good business sense. Anything else is just stupid. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. All right. So that's that. Lastly, just keep this in your memory banks, in the back of your mind. Passover next year falls somewhere, I totally forget at the moment. I believe it's either the 14th or the 15th of April of next year. So you brothers and sisters have plenty of time to start making provisions wherever you're going to celebrate. I'm not necessarily saying you're celebrating with us or any particular camp, but wherever you plan on going, just know that Passover for most camps is going to fall somewhere around April 14th, April 15th, somewhere in that, I forget, somewhere in that. So just plan accordingly, because a lot of brothers and sisters, you have jobs where if you don't ask for the time off way in advance, you can't get it, especially if you plan on traveling to another state to attend a particular congregation's Passover. So you have to put that time in way ahead of time. So if you haven't heard it anywhere else, I'm letting you brothers and sisters know that it falls in the middle of the week. If you go and you look at a calendar for 2022, April 14th, 15th, and that pocket falls in the middle of the week. Right. Deacon, I said the 14th, right? But what I like to do is I like to consult with other elders in Israel as well. So I want to take what we researched, and I want to take it to a few brothers that I know and I trust to see, because I seen one camp, I said the 14th, I seen another camp that said the 15th, right? So it's pretty much the same. So I kind of just want to compare and contrast so we can get a better understanding of how they came to the conclusion of the 15th and not the 14th. You understand? So that's why I'm not definitively, I said that amongst the people that was on that live stream I did, where it was only, select people on that live stream, I said that. But now this is public for everybody. So I'm being a little more cautious of what I say until I consult with the other elders. That's why I didn't make a flyer or anything. Yeah. So exactly. See, that's what I'm saying. So, we'll talk about it though. We'll talk about it. That's the point I'm making. So, you know, but ultimately, we see the window that it's falling into. So, again, for everybody, just make plans accordingly, okay? If you have to, if you plan on traveling someplace or whatever, just try to, if you can, you know, get that time off from now. Ask your job for that time off from now, because it's going to fall in the middle of the week. And of course, if you're traveling, you're going to need time to travel there and travel back wherever you're going. So just wanted to be a resource and help brothers and sisters out, because some of y'all may not know when it's going to come and find out the last minute when it's going to be, and then you can't get the day off. All right. So that's my story, family. I'm sticking to it. I appreciate you brothers and sisters listening in. I haven't really showed this channel a lot of love lately. I've been tied up doing 101 other things in the work. But I definitely plan on coming back and showing this channel more love than I've been. I've been neglecting this channel a little bit, and it's my apologies. But sometimes internal things within the camp and other things I'm trying to do to further the word take precedence over this. But I'm definitely back on it. Shout out to everybody that's a member of the channel. I received you guys' message loud and clear. I'm supposed to be providing people that have a membership on the channel. I'm supposed to be providing you brothers and sisters with exclusive videos exclusively for y'all. That's why y'all joined as members of the channel. And I did post a video, and I plan on posting, before the week is over, I plan on posting at least another video, if not two, exclusively for members of the channel. I got y'all message loud and clear, and I'm on top of it. Also, to everybody that subscribes to the Patreon, I also put a new video out for you brothers and sisters last night, and I plan on putting some more exclusive videos for you brothers and sisters ASAP as well. All right, so thank y'all brothers and sisters for hanging in there with me when I was a little bit tied up and I wasn't doing it, and for showing me patience. I do appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? My man, your Bartering in the building. Shalom out of one. All praises to the Most High for that. All praise to the Most High for that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, your Bartering, Passover is in April, like the second week of April of next year, bro. So I'm hoping, I'm hoping that you come, this way. I don't know what General Hashar has planned, but more likely than not, I'm pretty sure it's going to be in this area. So hopefully you're able to travel to NY, man, and so I can see you, King, 'cause it's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? All praise to the Most High. Blessings to you and your family, by the way. Right? And another thing, let me just say this let me say this in closing real quick. This is a new generation of Israelites, right? A lot of Israelites, you only believe what you see on social media, and that's it. Just because you don't see something on YouTube or Facebook doesn't mean it's not happening, doesn't mean anything is wrong. You have to understand that there's a lot that goes with this work besides what you guys are physically able to see on social media platforms. So when I have people reaching out to me, asking me, what's up, what's going on with Hashar, the brother's doing the work and he's doing what he's supposed to do. You don't have to see it to understand that it's still going on, right? Just because you don't see me and him doing as many videos as we used to doesn't mean that there's a problem between he and I either. And I'm saying that because somebody said that to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because they want to, if you don't see it on social media, it's like something's wrong. No. He's a leader over a congregation. He has a lot of things on his plate that he's dealing with, and so do I. But everything is good. Everything is good. Ain't nothing crazy going on, and you guys are going to get a really good surprise really soon from me and Hashar. That's all I'm going to tell y'all. Me and Hashar we in the kitchen cooking up, and you guys are going to get a great surprise from me and Hashar, which I think you brothers and sisters are going to enjoy. Y'all ain't see the general in a while, but when he come back, he going to come back strong. Take my word for it. Trust me. All right? So everything is good. Just focus on what you're doing for the Most High. If you choose to put everything that you do on social media, more power to you. But just because someone else doesn't mean that they're not doing just as much as you. I have to say that. It's unfortunate, but I have to say that because this generation of Israelites thinks that if I don't do a video on this channel, Next thing you know, somebody's making a video that I'm not doing the work. I'm not. No, it's not. It's not like that. I come up in an era where there was no social media. We did the work for the love. This is a labor of love. That's it. And I'm still built like that, which is why I don't put a lot of content on social media. But I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at it. And I do get reproved by those that love me that I need to have a better presence on social media. I get reproved by those that, there's certain people that I allow to, what I'm saying, check me if I'm falling short. Right? And I get reproved by people like, you don't have enough stuff on social media. You're not posting enough videos. I get that. I get it. Trust me, I get it. So those are areas that I'm trying to improve on too. But it doesn't mean that it's not happening because you don't see it. You know what I'm talking about? It's your brother, Priest Danyaahla, representing Lions of Israel, Maccabeestv. I appreciate y'all listening. If you in my video and you have not hit the like button, you do not have the fruits of the Spirit, you don't have no love, you need to repent. And with that, I say shalom.